Well, the new album, or debut album, I should say, Mara,
Yes.
is very nearly out, beginning of next month. Tell us, obviously for a lot of people, this is going to be the introduction to Cult of Lilith, because you've only had the one EP before, which was 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the album. Where does the title come from?
Okay, so the title Mara, it stems from the Icelandic word martröð, which means nightmare.
Oh,
And there's also this like folklore around Mara that there was a painting by this guy named Fuseli, if I remember correctly, where he painted this kind of demon hag thing sitting on top of the chest of a sleeping person, and it's to signify like sleep paralysis.
okay.
That is the same thing as Mara. It's this entity that brings nightmares to you in your sleep, basically.
That's pretty interesting, and it seems to be summed up well in the new video, Purple Tide, which I was just watching, and that's very nightmare fuel in a way.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a cool video.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, do you feel that the video reflects the themes of the song and the album as a whole?
Yeah, absolutely. The video is basically just what the lyrics are about, and that is kind of what we're going for with that name for the album, is because the lyrical themes are kind of this mix of dark fantasy horror mixed with like sci-fi horror as well, and then some difficult experiences of our vocalists, so they could all kind of signify this collection of nightmares, and we thought it was a fitting title to have the entity that comes to you in your sleep.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. And it goes very well with the artwork as well. The artwork is very, very striking, and that was Israeli artist, yeah, Cantor, who's done work for Atheist, Bloodbath, loads of people.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Was he difficult to get hold of?
He was not at all. Yeah, I think he's super busy. He's doing a lot of artworks, and we contacted him, and he immediately liked the concept, because also Lilith has, strong ties to Hebrew mythology and stuff, so he instantly knew who she was and was familiar with her story. So yeah, it was just a great fit. He answered the email right away, and yeah, the ball started rolling there.
Awesome. And of course, the album is being released from Metal Blade, which is a pretty good label to release your debut through.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, honestly. Yeah. To debut album released through them is a dream come true.
How did that come about? Did they just contact you, or were you sending out the demos?
They contacted us, so we were sending like an electronic press kit all over the place to a bunch of. Both my cats here are right by the laptop. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
So yeah, so we were sending like electronic press kits all over the place to a bunch of labels, and we really decided to sit on the material, to try to do it the right way, because we thought we had some really good material, and we didn't want to waste it on not having good enough PR and stuff. So we really wanted to test the waters before, and our sound engineer who mixed and mastered the album, Dave Otero, who has done like a mix and master for Cattle Decapitation, Archspire, Allegion, and a bunch of bands. A really great guy, an awesome audio engineer. He liked the material so much that he asked if he could send it out to a few buddies of his that were in labels and stuff, and we said, yeah, absolutely, man. And one of those contacts was Ryan Williams, the former bass player of Black Dahlia Murder, who's working for Metal Blade, and yeah, he liked it so much as well that he pitched it to the team, and then they contacted us, and then it was just like negotiations and stuff from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's been 4 years, according to Encyclopedia Metalum anyway, between the album and your debut EP.
Yep.
Obviously, you've changed singers in that time. I was very surprised to find you had a Spanish singer. Well, how the hell did he wind up in Iceland?
So I think he came to Iceland for a while, sometime back, and he just really fell in love with the country, and then he moved a few years later. Moved over. Yeah, it's kind of strange, moving to Iceland, like shitty weather, and from Spain. But I'm sure he was sick of the heat there in Spain as well. So it's a good change.
Well, other than the vocals, what's changed from 4 years ago to the album?
Just a lot of more like experience in writing and recording as well. The EP was a big learning process. Like, it was a learning curve for me. So I learned a lot from mistakes that I made during that process. And just better songwriting, and then also, of course, a full lineup of members. The EP was pretty much just me with a vocalist, and I had a studio session drummer from Italy that recorded the drums for me. So that was more just me trying to make a showcase for other musicians here to take notice, because I had been looking for a long time for people to join, and it's hard. It's hard, especially in such an isolated place, to find musicians that share your ambition, and want to take part in a project. And they're kind of going in blind if they can't hear anything. So that's why I made the EP. And so that made a huge difference, just having a full lineup of members that are completely dedicated to the band and all very talented musicians, So it made a huge difference. And the vocalist as well, of course.
Yeah. Of course, right now there's the pandemic going on across the world, and it's made live shows almost impossible, especially in the UK and America and a few other places. Yeah. How difficult has it been for you to promote this album, knowing that you can't get out and play?
To be honest, like it hasn't changed anything drastically for us, because we just released the EP, and we have just been playing shows in Iceland anyways, playing some good shows here. And I mean, it sucks that we can't be going out on tour right away to support the album thing, but it's still kind of more of the same, from how it was before. But we're in discussions with the booking agent, and hopefully as soon as things get normal, then we can, start heading to tours early 2021, hopefully, something like that,
Well, I hope so, man, because this music, it will go down brilliantly in the UK.
Awesome.
People will love that.
That's great.
But it's kind of funny you're talking there about how kind of isolated Iceland is. I think Reykjavik has like half the population or something of Iceland. Yeah. So, yet there seems to be more Icelandic bands coming up, at least in rock and metal. And this is... You're my second Icelandic band I've spoken to this year. I've got another one on Friday.
Okay.
So Icelandic bands seem to be outweighing everyone else I'm interviewing at the moment. So.
That's pretty funny. Yeah, per capita, we have a lot of bands,
Yeah.
A lot of those bands share a lot of the same members, just trying different things. And I think it's also because, the winters here can get, bad weather, and people stay inside more maybe, and so I think it has to do with also just having time to do things creatively like that, something like that. And just a lot of people in different bands. And I wonder myself, there's a lot of bands for such a small population, for sure.
Yeah, I think for so long the only Icelandic band people knew was Solstafir.
Yeah.
And Bjork, obviously, but that's a different thing. So it's really cool now to see so many bands come up from Iceland. Would you? Sorry, I'm struggling. Would you?
No problem, man.
Would you credit the renewed, or not renewed, but the availability of Icelandic bands to the internet now? People can find bands from all over the world, and it's possibly easier for Icelandic bands to get noticed than 20 years ago, for example.
Yeah, for sure. It makes a huge difference just to be connected to everyone. Everything is so global now, so it's much easier. Of course, the music industry is changing in a lot of ways, but in that sense, it's definitely for the better to be connected so globally. And Iceland is just this isolated island, you know, in the middle of the ocean. So it
Mm.
definitely makes it easier because it's hard to tour from here and stuff.
Yeah. Like you say, you are smack bang in the middle of the ocean. It's
Yeah.
that equidistant between the UK and the US or Canada. So
Mm-hmm.
that's more or less it, man. But thank you so much for taking the time to speak to me today.
Hey, thank you. My pleasure, man.
No problem. Don't forget Mara, September 4th.
Yeah, exactly.